Do you old bastards remember 1991? The year where the US kicked Iraq's ass? Russia finally realized communism sucks. Terminator 2 dominated the box office, and hair metal was still making killer albums. Me and my friend Jay make a hair metal mixtape of the best songs of 91 right here in the hair band basement.
This is the hair metal theme for the hair band basement show where I talk about hair metal and stuff and things.
All right, welcome to the Hair Band Basement. I'm your host, Basement Brian, and a recurring guest here at the basement. I'm looking over here like you're actually in the fucking room. Jay, welcome back to the basement, Jay. Why don't you tell the fine folks what you got going on?
Oh, well, I am glad to be back in the basement. I like Subterranean, man. It's just my thing. Um, New band going on. That info on that forthcoming, but hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on X, on Instagram, and keep tabs on what's going on that way.
Nice. Nice. Let me go through my shit real quick. Find me on X at HB Basement. Always talking music there. And find me on the Station Hat app every Friday night at 8:30 Eastern. I'm playing deep tracks of hair metal, so definitely download it and tune in. All right, so the premise here, we're continuing the idea of mixtapes that represent a specific year in hair metal, kind of like a introduction to someone of what that year was about in this genre of music. I only had a couple of stipulations, 10 songs, 2 of them got to be ballads. So like old school recording it on a blank tape, handing it to your lady friend to try and impress them, or maybe someone that knows nothing about hair metal in the year 1991 and hearing these songs for the first time. All right, with that, Jay, how are you starting off? What's the lead off track on your mixtape?
Well, I'm just gonna go from the top down on my little paper here. So there was a little band that took a real glammy band's name and flipped the script on it. I'm talking about Ugly Kid Joe. Because they've kind of flipped the script on Pretty Boy Floyd, if you remember, right?
Yeah, yep.
But everybody heard Ugly Kid Joe from this song, Everything About You.
Okay.
That video was funny. The lyrics are fucking hilarious. It's musically, it's extremely catchy and it's simple as shit. I mean, if that old formula is not broke, why fix it, right?
Yep. And I think it's the biggest selling EP ever.
I think so too.
It never went to number one though. It just never went to number one because it didn't sell enough. Or at that week, something was up with that. But overall, yeah, it has the most sales for an EP. It's a great EP too.
And it's not a bad fucking song on it.
Exactly.
And then of course, they did remake the song when they did their first full length, America's Least Wanted. I think they changed a couple lyrics, tried to be a little bit more user friendly. They just killed a little bit of the attitude of it, but the song's great nonetheless.
Well, that was the thing about first of all, they were put together like almost like a joke. They really weren't going to take it seriously. But if you listen to the lyrics, it is a way more like, I can't even describe it. It almost seems like they would be hanging out on a beach in California, just drinking some beers, smoking weed, and just fucking around, with some instruments. And all their songs are like that. All the lyrics are like that. They don't take themselves too seriously.
Right. I mean, the only thing they took serious was their worship of Rob Halford.
Okay, there you go. Who wouldn't? Right?
Exactly.
Who wouldn't do that?
Exactly.
Nice. That's a good one. That song was everywhere too. Holy crap, was that everywhere? I remember seeing them when I was in college. Me and my friend were in a bar, and Saturday night they had Headbangers Ball on, but you couldn't hear the sound because you're in the middle of a bar, jukebox playing, people talking, all that kind of stuff. And we're looking up at it, and they were in to be interviewed, and it just said at the bottom, Ugly Kid Joe. And we're like, that's a fucking weird name. That's pretty cool. Like, yeah, Ugly Kid Joe. Just based off the name, I decided to get the EP just because of the name. And then you listen to it and you're like, holy shit, this is good. And then it was a little, later that all of a sudden everything about you just blew up, and that was played everywhere. But yeah, that's a good pick. I got another song off that EP later in my mixtape, so I'm not gonna get too crazy with it. But yeah, that's a good start off right there. Nice. All right, my first one, a band. If you want a little bit of funk with your metal, it's from Bang Tango's second album, Dancing on Coals, and it's the lead up track, Soul to Soul. Such a great tune with that bass. Oh, and Kyle is an underrated bassist, and he gave that band their signature sound for those first two albums. Just he had the funk to it, the groove, the sound. It was all on him. I always like the line. Where is it? Across the room in a thin green dress, I catch your smile, and then I say, "Oh God!" and it kicks into the song. Yeah, it's got horns, but still, the live version is killer though. So goddamn good. But yeah, that might be my favorite song off that album. And with my list, I tried to mix it up with all different styles of quote unquote hair metal. And these guys, they had their own sound and really didn't fit the mold. That was the weird thing about them. They got forced into that label and just didn't nowhere else to put them. But that's
I
my
agree. I mean, that's what that was definitely their selling point. Is I mean, like with normal hard rock shit, the Chili Peppers kind of had their funk infused. Well, Bang Tango did that, albeit more of a hair metal style. And I remember the first thing I heard from him was
Something About You, or Someone
yeah,
Like You. It was
yeah, Someone Like You.
Someone Like
And
You. Yeah.
then, so I bought the album and then I'm like, holy shit, what a bad representation of what they really were as a
Yeah.
band. I mean, that was, mainstream radio friendly, but then you listen to even something like Rap, My Wings, that's just, it's got that swagger. This is fucking awesome music.
Yeah, I saw them live in a small club. Fucking great live band too. But you're
Yeah,
right. They were.
I saw him. I didn't see him, way back then. I
I
saw him
did.
like 15 years ago or whatever, but
I want to say I saw them when they went on tour for this album for Dancing on Coals.
oh, sweet.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like, oh shit. And it was like, again, it's like they got pigeonholed into being called hair metal, but they were like one of those weird bands that are kind of ahead of their time. They really weren't that, and if they came out a few years later, it might have helped them. A lot of these bands, especially with today's mixtapes, if they came out earlier, they would have been bigger. I think these guys would have been bigger if they came out a little later.
Well,
Like
or, there's a lot of bands that unfairly got lumped in as hair metal.
yeah,
And if some of those guys wouldn't have had long hair, they would have probably helped their career.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
I mean, just going off how people judge so much off of looks, even back then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, see, 4 or 5 guys with long hair, hair metal.
But then again, in '89, when the debut came out, like where would you have put them then? That's the thing. And then like the record labels decide
I don't
this.
think there was any kind of a subgenre they would have fit in.
No, no. I think if they came out a few years later, they could have been maybe with like a Jane's Addiction or something along those lines, and that kind of
They would
not
have been more alternative.
yes, yeah, some kind of alternative band. But yeah, too early. That was what was popular. Lump them in with them. But those first two albums are absolutely awesome. So good. They kind of became more what's what I'm looking for? Rock oriented after that with the
I
later
got
albums.
was it Pistol Whipped and the Bible Belt
Yeah.
came out
Yeah.
far later. And yeah, that
Mhm.
was straight up hard rock.
But yeah, and that came out after Joe Lestay did Beautiful Creatures. Both their albums are great. And they were more like a straight up rock band than with the funk. So they kind of carried that on. I think right now it's only him in the band from the original lineup. So it's like
Yeah, I agree.
he's going to do whatever he wants to do.
I think he's tried having a couple people in from the classic lineup and it just went nowhere fast.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, nah, fuck this. Fuck this guy. All right. Your second one. Track number 2.
I have a very weak spot for this band, and especially their deep cuts, and even more so their newer stuff. But consider this is 1991. LA Guns put out a great album called Hollywood Vampires, and the opening track off that, Over the Edge, makes a cut for this.
Nice.
It was in the movie Point Break.
Point Break.
Adios, amigo!
Yep.
You know, if anybody remembers that movie. And the first time I saw LA Guns, surprisingly, it was just over 2 years ago. It was like 2 years and like a week ago. When they played it, it was almost like a fucking religious experience. Or at least that's what it felt like for me. But that song is just kicks you right in the fucking ass, and it's just a fucking slamming song. If you want an introduction to LA Guns, forget about the Ballad of Jane from a few years before 91. Go straight for Hollywood Vampires. Great album, and this is a great fucking lead off to it.
It is. I'm gonna say this: it's not sleazy and dirty as the first two albums. This is really different.
It's more mature. And
that, but
the songwriting is way better.
I agree with that, but it also doesn't have that sleazy factor like the first two did. And when I first got this, that I didn't like that. I was like, this isn't like the first two. I don't know what they're doing. But as years went on, I've learned to love this album. So many goddamn good songs. Actually, I have a song off this album on it. That's how much I like it. What's the one song? Wild Obsession? Is that the
I love that song.
That's such a good goddamn song.
That song was also in a movie. It was in Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Okay, there you go. All right. But yeah, just the fact, just the way that song starts. Like it's almost like some Tibetan temple, like monks are chanting and shit.
How is that?
Oh, my stomach aching.
Aching?
And it's just that song is nothing like they did previously. It's so different.
Right, and then you get that and then Phil Lewis, just that scream.
Yeah.
Which he still fucking nails today.
Nice.
I mean, I saw LA Guns a couple months ago. He still gets it done. The whole band does, even though it's not the original lineup anymore. You know, him and Tracee, they work
That's
great
pretty
together.
much the band now.
Right. That's the band, you know?
Yeah. But like I always loved his voice too. He's got that raspiness to his voice. I always like guys that have a raspy voice.
Yeah, the pack of Marlboro Reds or a bottle of whiskey a day sort of a deal.
Exactly. He's got to get his voice into singing shape, so he's got to smoke 2 packs and do a few shots where he gets on stage.
Right.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to them in my a couple of songs. All right, my second track is this band. I know we've talked about them numerous times. They should have been bigger. If they came out a few years earlier, they would have. And it's from Tyketto's debut album, Don't Come Easy. Probably my favorite song off the album, Burning Down Inside. You could have picked any song off this goddamn album. Any song would have been a great representation of them. And like I said, they should have been bigger. Danny Vaughan's got a great voice. The songwriting is great. All the songs are catchy as all hell. And they came out a couple years earlier, maybe, but 91. The build up to this song, the chorus is catchy as hell. Just good stuff. I love this album. This is a 10 out of 10 for me, and yeah, like I said, this is probably my favorite.
Oh, absolutely, it's great debut, and you know, not like unlike a lot of bands from that debuted around that time. I mean, there was a lot more to them than what they ever got credit for, just because they fell into the genre that we love.
Yeah.
I agree. A couple of years earlier, they would have been huge. A couple of years later, they would have never got a shot, or they would have been put into just like maybe a mainstream, you know, rock type deal instead of a hard rock.
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone would have cared. Like if they
No,
came out like in
probably not.
'95, nobody would give a shit, which is sad because they were such a
But
good
yeah,
band.
Danny Vaughn's got a great voice.
Yeah.
I actually have something from that album that will be in my honorable mentions.
Okay. All right. We're at 3. The third track.
Um, this track is off of a greatest hits album, but it was a new song. Um, Mötley Crüe, Primal Scream. Uh, to that point, I would say easily in the top 5 of their best songs.
Ooh, okay.
Um, the groove is undeniable,
Yeah.
and what I really like is, I mean, I'm a huge worshiper, if you will, of Mick Mars. So his solo in that and all the slide guitar work he does in the song is a nice touch. And it's something slide guitar didn't get much credit or use in things of a hard rock nature.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's true.
Cinderella had, you know, a little bit
Yeah.
of slide here and there, and Mick had done it a few other songs, but there's not too many artists that did. It was more
Tesla
of a
had it.
blues thing. Mick is a blues-based player, so it shouldn't be of too much surprise, but he did it very well. It's just a fucking kick-ass tune. It made me hopeful for what was going to come next, which
Didn't.
we know what came next, and
It
I mean,
didn't.
I love the Karabi album, absolutely love it. But I am curious to see that album would have been with Vince Neil on it.
I always thought Primal Scream was almost the way it sounds. It almost seems like it could have been a. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Like it's an unreleased track or a B-side to something from Feel Good.
You know, I can see that. Angela, I would
Angela, yeah.
definitely. Primal Scream, yeah. I mean, it could have been I don't know if I'd say unreleased, but maybe a B-side, like you were
Something,
saying.
yeah, like maybe, it'd be a B-side to, I don't know, Kickstart Your Heart, and then later on, after like some kind of expanded edition or anniversary edition, they throw it on there for, But yeah,
Right.
it almost seemed like that's what you thought they were gonna go with the next album, and then that next album didn't happen until years after Vince was booted or left and came back, and then they gave us garbage.
Right. If you listen to, the 94 album, or you listen to Vince's Exposed album, Exposed is far more in line with Primal Scream than the
Yeah.
94 album is. So I wonder if the 94 album would have been like in that same vein.
I think so.
That Vince's influence, even if he wasn't the one writing the songs, played heavily. That Nicky has never shied away from the fact that he tailors what he writes to Vince Neil. So,
but I think that's why 94 was so different, because Karabi was on board with that. I don't think you would have had that album, or at least in that vein, if Vince was still in the band. It would have been a different thing.
A couple of songs I could see
Maybe,
Vince
yeah.
singing. Poison Apples. I could
Okay.
see him. I could not see Vince doing Power to the Music.
No.
No way in hell.
No, they just totally were like, nah. With a new guy on board, he's got his own, set of talents and stuff he brings to the table. Way different than what they had with Vince. Just way different. And I think you're right. The Vince Neil Exposed album was closer to what direction Crüe was probably going to go into. How big it would have been, who knows? But even that, they released that stuff late. Because that was, 3-4 years after Feel Good? And it was a good 5 when 94 came out. So there was a long gap between the two. And the music industry changed a lot in that time. It changed a lot. But yeah, I think that 94 album, one of the better albums of bands from the genre trying to change with the times. And I've always said this, that
I'll give them credit. They tried like hell.
they did pretty decently at it.
Yeah, and you know, people love that album now. I
Yeah.
mean, for the most part, but I remember the backlash when it came out. People were like, "Where's my fucking Motley Crue?"
Yeah, yeah. But I think those people were already feeling that way as soon as they heard they were making an album without Vince. No matter
Right.
what they put out, they would have been mad. That's just how fucking fans are. They're stupid like that. This is really dumb.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, yeah. All right, my third track, album you already mentioned from LA Guns, Hollywood Vampires. I went Some Lie for Love. Another
I
one
love that
that's,
song.
yeah, it's and it's just not what those first two albums were. But I always liked the line, always looking over her shoulder like a Chinese diplomat. What a great fucking line. And you weren't getting that in the first two goddamn albums. But yeah, like I said, I
Right.
remember getting this, being disappointed, going, what the fuck? This isn't what LA Guns is supposed to be. Looking back, it's like shit, yeah, these guys, like you said, matured. They went in a little different direction, not as sleazy. But goddamn, is it a great fucking album. So good. I got it on cassette 'cause I'm an old fuck. And it came with, because you know, the cover was 3D. And it came with little 3D glasses. You can look at the stupid album cover in 3D, which I was like, this is giving me
What's
some
that going to be
shit.
like? Look like Scrooge McDuck?
It wasn't even that big. It has to fit in a cassette case. So it was like this big. You had to kind of look that. And it was just like, it was, like you see like the 1950s goddamn 3D glasses. It's like that white, like kind of almost a sturdier cardboard with the red and blue lens to see the shit. And then I
Like
was
the
like, this
same
is,
cheesy ones that came in the Skid Row Roadkill home video.
there you go. Yeah, yeah. And it was like, this is just why, who cares? I'm here for the music. I don't give a shit. I think I still have it though. I think I still have it somewhere, but it just
I
gave me
did
good
have that
stuff.
on cassette, but I fucking got it from a buddy of mine who didn't like it, so didn't have the little dorky glasses. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you're kind of an old fuck, but then again, I'm kind of an old fuck, and
Yeah,
well,
this
cassette
is
tapes were. I mean,
that was the way you did it.
what the fuck were you gonna do? Take and put a record player in your car? I mean,
Exactly. That is true. That is true. That was the thing too, because CDs were a thing then too, but
oh, absolutely.
most people didn't have a CD player in their car.
I had a
And
fucking disc man with a tape adapter that I stuck in the deck of my Monte Carlo,
I
and
got
it,
that eventually, yeah.
yeah.
But when I
I
was
mean,
like, I don't know, driving, first getting my license, I didn't have that. I don't know if they even made it yet. And it was just like, there's some albums I got on cassette just because I wanted to listen to it in the car. And I was like, nah, if I get it on the CD, I have to get blank tapes and record it. See, kids, this is how I used to do things back in the day. And I was like,
right. I
nah, I was good
mean,
on cassette.
kids don't understand the struggle and how real it was when your tape got eight and you're sitting there with a fucking pencil.
Oh my God. There were times I had to pry tapes apart and fix the shit and tape it back up. I still remember my Shark Island cassette. It got ate up by the goddamn car. And you're like, oh shit. You're panicking because you don't have $10 to replace it. And you get home and you think, let me see if, see what I can do. And like a goddamn surgeon, you're prying, taking out the screws, prying out the plastic, trying to straighten out the cassette part, the tape part of the cassette, putting it all back together. You tape it together and you put it in the player, and you're just like,
And
oh,
hope the motherfucker works.
fucking work. Yes. And as soon as it starts playing, like, oh, thank God. But then there's always that one part where it's like, where it got messed up and eaten up. And you're just like,
And
that's
it's a
fine.
wonder why people our age ended up with anxiety. I mean, we had to sit there in a fucking panic hoping that we were going to have to go try to boost a new fucking tape from Kmart or whatever.
Exactly. That's right. Just trying to relax and listen to music was stressful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're number four. Or
Oh, well, it's kind of fitting I mentioned John Corabi because this would be the band that brought him to prominence. The Scream
oh,
song is
yes.
Outlaw.
Nice. Nice.
That fucking album is insanely good.
Yeah.
And this is yet another almost I don't know, almost a thing I have going with a lot of my picks. It's the opening track off the album.
Mhm.
And what a great introduction. You know, band wise, most of them guys were in Racer X.
Mm-hmm.
And Karabi just I don't know if he even played guitar in that band, or if he did, it wasn't very much. But because they arrived late at the fucking party, they didn't really catch much attention, as far as record sales go. They caught attention of other musicians, i.e., Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee. So, that's where that comes from. But I remember Circus and shit would have at the end of the year, this artist or whatever. What are you listening to? Well, I remember the Scream being mentioned quite a bit by other guys.
Yeah.
On the top 5 things they were listening to that year.
And I never got that album back in the day. And it was on Apple for a while. And I was like, cool, I can finally check this out. And as far as I know, it's not on there anymore. And it's like, fuck, why? Like, why isn't it there? Why would you take this off? But yeah, that is a really good and underrated album. You're 100%
I remember
right on that.
when Karabi got the Mötley gig, I had a buddy that managed an On Cue, if you remember that store, basically Sam Goody. And he'd order me in whatever I wanted him to order. So he ordered me that CD, and I still have it today.
Nice.
I wanted to hear who was replacing Vince Neil.
Yeah.
That's what got my interest in.
And that's
I listened to it, put on an album, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he wasn't like the Scream wasn't huge, and all of a sudden he's in Mötley Crüe. Like, no one really knew the fuck the Scream. You're right. I think a lot of people might have gotten the album just to hear who the fuck he even was before they heard the Mötley Crüe album.
Right. He went on to big and better things, if you want to put it that way. Being in the Dead Daisies and Rat and everything else he's done over the years. And his solo stuff is cool. I saw him acoustically, a few years ago now, and a very memorable show. It was at a weeknight show at a fucking club in Des Moines. And I remember he played a Monkees cover. And he had a little caution tale before. Yeah, he goes, this is going to get stuck in your head. He was fucking right. He's like, Daydream Believer or some shit. I was driving home that night. That song started playing in my head. You fucker, Karabi.
Just playing some Monkees. The fucking Monkees.
Exactly. The fucking
they got a gig with the Monkees. They're on a plane in Japan with the Monkees.
They're in a jet now over Japan. We heard they got a gig with the Monkees.
The fucking Monkees? You're kidding me.
Nice. Yeah, that band should have been bigger. It's one of those bands you're like, fuck. We never got anything else from them.
I read Karabi's book. And I right when it came out. So I can't remember the whole deal, and I'm sure someone can correct us in the comments.
Yeah.
But they did do some other stuff. In order for him to get out of his contract to join Mötley Crüe, he had to record something. I don't remember what it all entailed, and without going back to reread it, I'm not sure, but I can't remember if it was a song, an EP, an LP. He was somehow involved in stuff, just to fulfill contractual shit after he joined Mötley Crüe.
Yeah. And that Mötley Crüe album never, the band almost acts like it doesn't exist. It's really fucking weird. First of all, Vince ain't singing anything from it, so that's one thing. Whether he doesn't want to or he physically can't.
I don't think it's the fact that he doesn't want to. I just don't think he can.
He can. Yeah, I don't think he can either.
I mean, it's not his wheelhouse. But I saw Mötley 2 years ago. No, last year. My bad. And they were fucking around, and sans Vince, I think he made a comment, let's play something different. And they started playing a song off of 94, and Vince was like, not that. and the crowd laughs and they kicked into something else.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny.
Mhm.
All right, my turn, right?
Yep.
My number 4 is my first ballad. I'm gonna say this all night. Another band that should have been big. This song should have been huge. It's off, sadly, the only official album by Kik Tracee, a full-length album by Kik Tracee. They're from their No Rules album, Big Western Sky. That fucking song is so good. And it should have been big. It just love that album. Love this band. We didn't get a lot from them. We didn't get enough from them personally. I always like the line when the funky little things get all blown up. I try to keep my head and chin lifted up to the sky. And it's so killer. I remember in college when this album came out, like my friend and his girlfriend would always request to hear this song. She would come over like, "Hey, can you play that Big Western Sky song?" Go, "Hell yeah, you got it." It's a great tune, just a great tune. I love this fucking band too.
Oh, I have a song from the same album in my honorables. We're thinking a lot alike, but
Yeah.
I like Stephen Chiro. Is that how you pronounce his
Yeah,
last name?
Zero. Yep.
Great voice, and that song is a ballad. I mean, it should have lit fucking charts on fire.
Yeah.
I know some people gave that band no respect because they viewed him as like an offbeat version of Slaughter because Dana Strum was involved.
Yeah, they sound nothing like Slaughter.
I mean, yeah, he produced the album. I do believe he has some co-writes on it.
He helped write that song.
Yeah, but then again, who the hell didn't back then? Most people
Yeah.
had, Jim Valance or Desmond Child or whoever you want,
Mm-hmm.
writing on their albums. And we can't take anything away. Those guys are solid musicians, and it's a fucking great album.
Yeah, and yeah, I love his voice too. They gave him a different sound too. I just recorded a video, I don't know, last week was it? Maybe a little later, where me, Jason, and Patrick, talk about bands we really couldn't get into, and Patrick said Kik Tracee, and I'm like, go fuck yourself.
When I say this, it's gonna get me thrown out of the fucking basement. I guarantee you.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a hell of a
Tracee.
setup.
Fucking.
Oh, what, bro?
See, it's gonna be a one and done for me on this channel. So,
Ooh.
never liked Kik Tracee.
Out of your mind? Are you crazy?
How
Yeah, he
can
won't
you
become
not?
back. I know.
How
I don't
can you not
understand.
get into that album?
And he said he didn't like his voice. Doesn't like Chiro's voice. I'm like, what? Huh? Are you kidding me? Whatever. That's his last time in the basement. I'll just say that. All right, you're number 5, closing out side A.
Oh, I'm going way fucking down under with this one. I believe it was Australia, might have been New Zealand. It's one or the other. This band called Screaming Jets. And most people have never heard of them. But if you've seen the movie Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, you have heard them. They have 2 songs that are prominently featured in the movie, and this is one of them. It's called Stop the World. If the scene that's playing, they're kind of zooming in on that biker bar where they hang out, and the song's playing in the background. Real catchy, gritty vocals. Think like I don't know, kind of like a harder or glammier version of AC/DC.
Okay.
I mean, the simple structure to the song, catchy as shit. Their album was called All for One, and it was another one of the things where I special ordered it because you ain't gonna find that fucker in the store around here. But I mean, check it out; it's solid as shit.
I'll have to check it out. I'm not familiar with this song. I'll have to
Yeah.
listen to it. If you're saying they sound like AC/DC, they're probably from Australia. That's gonna be my guess.
I mean, they're from down that way, and
yeah.
I mean, they weren't. That's the closest thing they had to a hit was being in that movie with a couple of songs. I mean, same thing. Someone else had music in that movie would have been Black Eyed Susan. which
Okay.
is what happened to Dean after he quit Brandy Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's that movie's got some pretty kicking tunes.
No kidding. I'll have to check it out. All right. Learning something new here in the basement. Look at me. All right, my fifth track, closing out side A. I'm gonna say this almost every fucking song I got here. Should have been bigger. This thing, I think, was. I want to say it might be a better album than the one before it, though both are great. But it's a title track from Kik's Hot Wire. That song just kicks ass. The way it builds up and then hits you right in the face and doesn't stop. It's just a high energy tune. So goddamn good. Now, where's the line? I got my lines here. Babe, I'm gonna tell you, and he has a what I'm gonna do. We're all singing. We're gonna be start singing these fucking guitar riffs
We
ever
need to
since
do
that episode.
our part 2 of our guitar riff thing because that's just got us on that fucking track. And
Mouth riffs. Order now. Every goddamn episode I've recorded since that one, I'm always singing this shit. But it's where was that here? What you gonna do? Gonna turn you over, gonna blow a fuse with your hot wire. Oh, it's so goddamn good. And
Kik's had so many fucking songs where lyrics were riddled with sexual innuendos.
almost
God
all of
fucking
them.
bless them.
Almost all
It's
of
the
them.
American way.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'll even say this: when this came out, I liked some songs, wasn't too crazy about the rest of the album. And I was like, they're really trying to sound like AC/DC. Like Girl Money is an AC/DC song. Like, come on. But again, as time went on, I learned to appreciate this album. I think if it's not if I like it slightly more, it's definitely tied with Blow My Fuse. Both are great albums, but I think they got better what they did with this album. But Blow My Fuse is still goddamn good too, though. I can't really.
Yeah, I mean, Blow My Fuse had the hits, if you will, but I will agree, this album, they were in that same stride. And
Yeah.
it's a great album, and I have something from it in my honorables. But yeah, they're another one of those bands who kind of turned into, an American AC/DC. And I think I said that in another video. I mean, they have that formula that they use for a lot of tunes. It works well for them. It's great stuff. I mean, some of it's simple, sure. Some of it sexually charged, absolutely. God bless America. God bless.
Yeah. There you go. And what was the song? I thought Tear Down the Walls was a better song than Don't Close Your Eyes. I'll just say that. I like that way more. But again, 91, here we are. They write a kick-ass album and doesn't do anything. Just go figure. All right, we're flipping the tape over. What's leading off side B on your mixtape?
My first power ballad. And this one is from Kane Roberts. Does anybody really fall in love anymore?
Oh, nice.
It's probably my second or third favorite ballad of all time. Cher recorded it. Bon Jovi wrote it and recorded a version of it at some point. But I like Kane's version the best. He's got an incredible voice. He's a great fucking guitar player, as he proved when he was in Alice Cooper's band. He didn't quite look like he was as hopped up on steroids in the video for this song. But just kidding. If you would happen to see this, Kane, don't kick my ass. I worship your guitar playing. But no, this album, it didn't really gain a lot of traction, just like most things didn't at this point.
Yeah.
But it's loaded with good shit. The song Twisted is really, really, really good. It almost made my list instead of this song. But I needed two ballads, and what a better one to start off those two with than this one.
Nice. Yeah, it is really one of those under the radar type albums. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm 100%, and know everything about it, but I'm familiar with it, and I know it. That's a good pick. Oh, damn. All right, I'm starting off my side B with from Dangerous Toys. Their second album's Hellacious Acres, Sticks and Stones. Fucking fantastic album. I don't know what I can say. It's just so goddamn good. I mean, I love the debut. This is right. I for a long time I said I like the debut more, but I don't know. As time goes on, I'm liking this album more and more. I love both, but god damn, this is so many good tunes. I almost put Best of Friends down for one of my ballads, and it was like, nah, I already got two. I switched one around. I'm not gonna do that. But I had to put something down from this album. And that, yeah, I love Sticks and Stones Can Break My Bones, but Rock and Roll Can Never Hurt Me. And it's just a kill. That should have been a fucking anthem for
That
this
should be on a
genre.
fucking t-shirt right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's just one of those fucking songs that should be you closing a show out in front of thousands and everyone's singing along to it. But
Mhm.
yeah,
I got something from this album in my honorables. I agree. I mean, you picked a fantastic song. And what I like possibly the most about Dangerous Toys, they've got that fucking Texas swagger to them.
I was gonna say no fucks given.
I mean, you gotta be from Texas to get it. I mean, they have it. Pantera had it, but I mean, you got it's a Southern deal. I can't explain it any other way.
Junkyard too. It was you're right. It's this Texas swagger that attitude comes through in the music somehow.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, oh, yeah, where these guys are from just listening to their songs. But yeah, I love that album. So goddamn good. Damn. All right, your seventh track is seventh, yeah.
Yep. This band could be considered a one-hit wonder, although it's damn travesty. McQueen Street, My Religion.
Nice.
I love that fucking album.
Yeah,
he's another one of those singers where he's got that fucking gritty voice. I mean, he's not a packing a bottle a day guy. He sounds like he's a carton and 2 bottles a day.
That's
but
right. Huh.
I don't know. It's real good, harder edged hair metal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's in that same vein as Wild Side or Babylon AD or bands like that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's got more edge to it, and a damn shame they were lumped in as hair metal.
Yeah, and yeah, thing came out too late. I had what's the lead off track? When I'm in the mood, as on my mixtape, and I replaced it with my Dangerous Toys pick. I was like, fuck, that killed me. I was like, I don't have the room. I just don't have the room. But yeah, that is a great album. So goddamn good. I want to say that might have been the song that got me to buy the album.
That's what got me into it.
Yeah, and I got it. I think I saw it at Headbangers Ball back in the day and got it on cassette 'cause I'm an old fuck. And yeah, so goddamn good. Oh my God. I remember years later, probably maybe about 10, 15, no, maybe a little later than that. Almost 20 years ago. Man, it was a while now. I had a car that had a cassette player in it, but most of my stuff at the time were on CD. I remember digging this thing up and be like, yeah, I'm putting this thing in the fucking car. Raising the volume on this. Yeah. 15 years later.
I was at a fucking secondhand store a year and a half ago, and I found it on cassette there for $0.25.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Easily a purchase that I made.
Oh, yeah, for $0.25, why not? Sure.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I got to try to build back up my cassette tape collection that I sold like a fucking idiot because I had everything on CD.
Oh, yeah.
Nostalgia. I mean, I'm not getting rid of my CDs. I don't do streaming bullshit, so CDs is still how I consume my music.
Nice. But yeah, I still have all my cassettes too. I've done a couple episodes just pulling out of a box, see what the hell I got. Oh, this is a good one right here. The debut from McQueen Street. And yeah, I can't bring myself to get rid of them. I just can't do it. I'll never listen to them, unless
Right.
maybe one that's not I don't have on CD or it's not on streaming and you can't find anywhere. Maybe I'll pop that in. But other than that,
You
they're just
you
sitting in
know
a box, but no
that,
way I
that
get rid of
that's
them.
you're bringing up a idea I have for a very good point. Most people will listen to iTunes, Spotify, whatever. Well, you're missing the biggest part. You remember the excitement factor of opening up, going and buying your CD, an album, a cassette tape, opening it and fucking pulling out the insert, looking at the pictures and reading the lyrics and all the other notes.
Yeah.
That I
That's
mean, that's real as shit.
but that was the thing, because back then that was what you were focusing on. That was like,
You
got
wanted
my
the you
album.
wanted the whole fucking package, not
What you
just
got the whole package with that. Yeah, I'm with you. So many times I come home and put on a new album and listen to it, read the liner notes or whatever. But now it almost seems like music kind of seems like it's a background thing now. You get a new
oh, I
song, you put
agree.
on your phone and you're scrolling on something, you're doing something else. It's kind of there, the distractions in your hand, but we didn't have that back in, back in the day. The
Back then
distraction was the cassette.
it was an event.
Yeah.
I mean, it to me it still is. But
But one thing, I don't think I have it on in my list, but when the two Use Your Illusion albums came out, people waited in line at record stores for that thing.
Mhm.
You will never see something like that ever again. That's
no.
just not going to happen. This is no way.
Well,
No one's
I
waiting in line for
remember
albums.
several times over the years back then being at waiting outside a record store because they were opening up at midnight to sell, whatever the release was. I
Yeah.
did it. I remember very clean doing it for uh when Metallica put out Load.
Okay.
And I mean I was waiting in line an hour and a half before the fucking door opened, ready to walked in there, bought the CD, bought the cassette, and I mean, I can't exactly say I'm a fan of that album in
I
retrospect,
know
but
that's the other fun
but I
part
was
of
that
that.
excited to hear what Metallica was doing next because I was a huge fan before that.
Yeah. But that's also part of the fun when you didn't know what you were going to get.
Right.
You would be psyched, like, all right, this band has a new album out, let me check it out. And you could pop it in, and it could be the greatest thing you ever heard, or it could be total shit, and everything in between. You did not know until you put it on. Yeah, you might know the lead off single, the song they put out there to get you to buy the thing. Other than that, you had no clue. And there's a lot of times where I would get albums and it was like I wore the hell out of them, just worn to shit. They don't play right anymore. And there's other albums you bought and 3 songs in, you're like, fuck, I wasted $10 on this piece of shit.
When I thought, fuck, I wasted $10 on this, it usually went out the window of my car on the drive home. That happened more than once. But
That's
yeah, same thing. I
hilarious.
mean, I wore out several cassettes, CDs. I used to buy, if I loved something on first listen, I would go back to the store as soon as I get the opportunity and buy a second copy of the CD. Just that way, when I fucked up one, I wasn't without. I could pop it.
No backup. There's a lot of times I get it on
Exactly.
cassette and then eventually get it on CD. Sometimes, like what I did with the Winger debut, I get it because it had bonus tracks on it. Or it was like, oh yeah, I remember like in the early 2000s, I was getting albums I had on cassette on CD just because that's why that's where music was consumed. That it was starting to be more online kind of shit, but it was like, let me replace all these cassettes I got with CDs, and you can burn them on your computer and do what you wanted with them, or put them on a phone or whatever. But yeah, there was nothing like getting that album, coming home and being like, it was like Christmas. It's like Christmas. You didn't know what you were gonna get till you put that thing on. My second ballad, this thing should have been massive by a band that should have been bigger, but by 92, it was too late. It's off with Danger Danger's second album, Screw It. I Still Think About You. One of the best ballads of the genre. I think it's better than Poison's Every Rose Has Its Thorn. It's really well written. I put this up there with like Babylon AD's Desperate for ballads that should have been huge. I mean, this came out in 91 though, so it really didn't have much of a chance. But I always like the line, it's been 3 years, a lot of tears, ain't got nothing but this song. Oh, so goddamn good. And you hear the pain in his voice as he's singing it because you done messed up your relationship. But yeah, such a killer ballad. This band should have been big, let alone just the song.
I mean, they had the players, they had the songs.
They had the look.
Yeah. Was it a deal where the label dropped the ball? Probably had something to do with it.
There's the story with the first album. They didn't release one of the ballads as a single and wanted them to go back into the studio and record the second album. I don't know how in '89 you don't put a fucking ballad out. Everyone was doing it. Like, what were you thinking?
Well, that seemed like that was the protocol back then. You released the rocker, then you released the ballad, then you released another rocker, and then maybe another one, and send the band back to the studio, give them a pile of fucking cocaine, and tell them to get to work.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're Def Leppard, you release half the fucking album and then take 5 years to release another album.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. That was the formula. You start over with the rockin' album.
I love Danger Danger, though, and it's a great song that you picked. I have a couple from that album in my honorables yet again.
Nice, because I saw them on a small club in Long Island, I think around when this album came out. And it was actually definitely after when the album came out. And it was just a party. Because they're New York guys. So they had people there that they knew. They actually, towards the end, they just started jamming out and, cover songs or whatever they all knew. And Poley got behind the kit because he was a drummer at first. So he was playing a song. There was a local guitarist that happened to be there. He got up there and started, jamming with them. This African-American guy who fucking ripped. The guy was really good. And it was just like, all right, we're all just having a good time. We give a shit at this point. Let's just do this. Really good goddamn show. But again, yeah, how these guys didn't make it big, I mean, they had some songs, the lyrics a little questionable. It wouldn't have been pop-friendly hits, but, Slip to the Big One. And
you mean like Slip to the Big One?
Slip to the Big One definitely wouldn't have been. Or Get Your Shit Together. Everybody Wants Some.
Or Horny SOB.
Horny SOB is another one, too. That was the weird thing with that band, though. They would have a song like Horny Son of a Bitch, and the follow-up song would be a ballad, I'm Coming Home. Like, what? The hell? Pick a lane, guys. You're all over the goddamn place.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now you're number 8.
Okay. This would be a deep cut off of a band's second album. The band is Skid Row.
I had a feeling you were going to say
that. Song, Riot Act.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
I love the whole fucking CD. I mean, I love basically everything Skid Row's ever done. Sans revolutions per minute. But that song it's about the closest thing to punk they ever did.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The lyrics are, never want to be president. It's nothing but an ego trip. I mean, he's right.
So great, yeah. They say it again. They want to be president, nothing but a pile of shit. That's great.
But it's just fucking full steam ahead blitz. I love it. Short, sweet, dripping of fucking attitude.
Yeah.
It's beautiful fucking choice for the back half of this album.
And you're right. It's a punk song. It really does sound like a punk song. It's just straight up. But I had Quicksand Jesus on it's one of my ballads, and I ended up cutting it. But I do have another song off the album, though. I had to have something by Skid Row, so it was like, yeah, that's probably one of the best albums of the year. So fuck yeah. But that is a great tune. That's one of my favorites off the album. You're right. It's a 10 out of 10 album. There's nothing, not a bad song on it. Not a goddamn bad song. Oh, I wish we got more like that from them. You know?
Well, I guess in my opinion, we did. I really do love Thick Skin. To me, it's a 10 out of 10. But
Really?
it's an acquired taste. I mean, some people didn't like Johnny Sawyer. I did. So
I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was good. I had nothing against him. Yeah, but I know I'm thinking Subhuman Race. That's the album I'm thinking of. That one I just couldn't the follow-up to this, it was like what it just didn't work for me. I can't really I don't know. I keep going back to it and it doesn't click with me.
over the weekend, had band practice and writing some new stuff with my guys, and we were talking about albums. And with Subhuman Race, it just doesn't add up to me. Yeah, I know it was, 94, 95. But you had Bob Rock producing that album, who had produced Dr. Feelgood, had produced the Black Album, countless other stuff. It sounded great. That album sonically sounds like dog shit.
I don't get what happened with that. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, that's part of the reason that it doesn't have the appeal, because it doesn't. I mean, you can't blare it when you listen to it because you'll drive yourself insane. The production on that album is complete and utter shit.
Yeah, it's ass.
How that ended up happening, I
don't think the songs are that great either, though.
They're a matter of taste. What they did between the debut and Slave, they did the same thing between Slave and Subhuman Race. Just another step in that trajectory of being a heavier band.
I get that, but I don't know. There's not many songs that are on the same level as like a Riot Act or Quicksand Jesus or a lot of the songs off Slave just didn't. I don't know. I just don't think it's there. Maybe part of it is them trying to
burned out. And
I was going to say that.
And they were just like everybody else, downtrodden at what had happened to their career.
And I get that. Plus, I'm sure
it likely bared in some way to the songwriting. But
yeah, I don't think it helped them out. I don't think I mean, you look at the like the hatred between Don Dokken and George Lynch, and they put out fucking Back for the Attacks. Like it was able to work for them. But like I don't know, it just didn't. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it gelled for me on that album. And that's just me, though. That's just me. All right, it's mine, right? My number 8. Yep. All right, so I kind of went the same route you did with Mötley Crüe, where it's not an official full-length album, but it's off of Poison's "Swallow This Live." So tell me why. Fucking one of my favorite Poison songs. It's got that catchiness to it. It's just great. But your river of emotion for me flowed like a dried up stream. Such a great line. Oh my god. Thing is, this is the one they made a video and CC wasn't in it.
Yep.
They were just like, nope, we don't want him around. He's done. And I had no idea this was even a single until I want to say a few years ago. I had no clue. I just had no clue.
I remember it being a single from back then.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that the 4 songs off of Swallow This Live that are studio tracks were all cut when they cut Flesh and Blood. And whether that's the truth or not, I don't know, but it sounds very possible.
Yeah.
But great fucking song. This song, remember before we started recording, I said I was still playing with my number 10. This is the one that lost that little spot.
Little battle. Oh, yeah. Because
this song would be the top of my honorables.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I wasn't a big Poison fan back in the day, so plus I was in college. So in college, in '91, there's no internet. I wasn't paying for cable. I didn't have any access to MTV, and in my college, in the middle of nowhere, so there wasn't any like a lot of radio stations, playing music I liked. They were playing like country shit and stuff like that. That's how middle of nowhere it was. So I never really heard this song
You
until
you went to college here, huh?
I went. No, dude, I went to college. It's pretty close. I went to college. My college was an hour and a half south of Buffalo. So it is pretty much like Iowa. It's almost it combination of Iowa, Appalachia, and Texas all crammed together into one hayseed, backwater, bang your sister type place. It was just
Now let's you just drop them pants.
Drop?
Just take them right off.
I remember it was called, it was a city, it wasn't that big, and they had a bar right next door to a gun shop. That's the kind of fucking place you're talking about. This part of New York
Man,
was
that's even sketchy by standards of here.
no matter where you are, just say all you need is the pickup truck and a dog and a there you go, you're good. But yeah, that's a great tune. I love that tune by Poison. That thing should have been massive.
Absolutely.
It was not. All right, you're number 9. Almost to the end of your tape here.
Be my second ballad of the tape. Die for You by Alice Cooper.
Oh, okay.
Hey Stupid it's a fucking masterpiece in my mind.
It's underrated. I'm with you. It's underrated.
Extremely. And it to me is another one of those perfect 10 albums. There's not a fucking bad song on it. I would listen to it on repeat continuously with no problems. I used to. I still do occasionally now. The musicianship is great. And this song, it was wrote by Mick Mars and Nikki Sixx.
Mm-hmm.
So you could hear, in listening to it, and Mick played on the song, it does. It sounds like a Mötley Crüe song, just with Alice singing it. But, it's fucking a ballad that nobody ever thinks of by an artist who's not really known for their ballads. What? Only Women Bleed? If you think of Alice, you think of ballads, that's what you think of.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
But it's a great tune for everybody to check out.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I forgot that album even came out that year. God damn, what a year. Holy shit. And you're right. It's such an underrated album, too. Like, a lot of people just don't, I don't know, they either...
They listen to Feed My Frankenstein, and they forget about everything else. Well,
yes, there you go.
I'm looking at my paper. I had this, and I had Little by Little written on it. But Hurricane Years is a great fucking song. The title track is a great song. Might as well be on Mars. Everything on the fucking CD is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It really is one of those under the radar. I think some people just flat out say they don't like it. Like, it's not a good album. Like, what? Are you serious? Like, what are you talking about?
No, they need to take the dick out of their ears and learn how to listen.
Okay. They need to do hobbies, apparently. All right, my number 9. This is the song I picked from Skid Row, Slave to the Grind. Like you said, 10 out of 10 album. So many good goddamn songs on it. And I had Quicksand Jesus as my ballad. I ended up switching it, I think, for I Still Think About You. And I put Monkey Business, the lead off single. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with something that people know on this goddamn thing. I have a lot of deeper stuff or lesser known singles. And I remember when this thing came out, me and my friend were like, holy shit. And I just started playing bass that summer. And he picked up the drums, and we're like, we're going to do this song. We're going to play this song. 34 years later, I still haven't learned the song, and I don't know if he even plays it anymore. I have no idea where he went with it. So I kind of lost touch with him. But I always love the line, freaks come out at 9, it's 20 to 10. What a great fucking line. And yeah, like to start off this album, killer track. And it just gets better from there. But I had to have something from this album. Said, fuck it, I'll go with one of the singles. But yeah, I'll still raise the volume on every song on this album.
Right. I can't say enough good shit about that album. And I remember, you mentioned, playing it on bass and stuff. I remember learning it when I was a teenager and go back some years. I'm doing a line check before playing a set. And the song Monkey Business was never something that I played live with my last band. But, line checking, I'd play various riffs. I started playing the intro for Monkey's Business, and a couple people that were in the audience lost their fucking mind and started screaming. And, it brought me back to a point of, that intro is so unassuming. When Skid Row played on Saturday Night Live, they played this song. I remember watching that with a buddy of mine who hadn't heard that song and watching his facial reaction when Sebastian finished his line, shoebox full of bones, and then that scream. Watching him react when they fucking kicked in was priceless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a look of like, what did I just get myself involved in? And goddamn, where have you been my whole life?
But you're right. That song alone was just like it set the tone for that album.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing, I can't think of any song off the debut that's on that level of heavy kick-assness as the second album. I love the debut, but there's just something about that second album.
Because I'm kind of just quickly in my head listening to a snippet of each song off the first album. You could say that 18 Life starts off that way, but it doesn't end that way because it's a ballad. It starts off with that same disturbing, haunting fashion.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
But it goes the other. Instead of kicking your ass, it's a phenomenal ballad. I mean, if it started like that and went into something like "Piece of Me" for the rest of the song,
or Big Guns, I'd say maybe Big Guns.
Yeah,
but I think Big Guns might be the closest off that album that would fit on Slave to the Grind. I mean, again, I love the debut, but they just went ballsier and heavier on that second album and didn't care. They were just like, screw it. We made money off the first one. We can fucking wipe our asses with our guitars and the goddamn record label will make copies of it and get it out there.
Well, with Slave to the Grind, they did exactly what the fuck they wanted to do.
Yep.
And for that alone, everybody should have the utmost respect for the band. I fucking love, listen, I love their whole catalog, sans like RPM.
Yeah, then you're right. They did whatever the hell they wanted to, and they did it fucking so goddamn good. I will put that thing on today and still be like, God damn, this is unreal how good this shit is.
Nate and Rachel make one hell of a songwriting duo.
Yeah. Yes, they did. All right, last track. What are you closing out the mixtape with?
Well, I'm going to end up with a song from an album you said you didn't have. And this one comes from Guns N' Roses. The song You Could Be Mine.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, people think about Terminator 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that is the one pure, true song off either of those albums that could be on Appetite. It's the only thing that's got that fucking old Guns N' Roses attitude to it. I mean, I love a lot of tracks off of both those albums, but if I were to pick, I'm going to take Use Your Illusion 2 over 1.
Okay.
It just doesn't. have the attitude, like attitude, like Appetite did. So this song does great fucking tune. I mean, a lot of great tunes on combined. That shouldn't have been
Yeah.
a double album. It should have been a singular album.
I'm with
That
you.
would have blown everybody's fucking mind.
Yeah.
But Axl got his way, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. I think the original lineup played on that song because like you said, it was on Terminator 2.
Mhm.
That came out the year before. I don't remember what year that movie came out now. But yeah, they had the original lineup playing on that.
I
That
thought
was
let's see. I know on the credits it's got the hell's it? Matt Sorum listed as a drummer. The
Is
only
he
song off of
really?
either album that listed Steven Adler as playing drums was Civil War. But
I thought it was that too. Huh.
I mean, the beat of that song, I could see it being Steven Adler, but if it was, he wasn't credited as the drummer who
It's the
played
drummer.
on the recording.
Interesting. I could have sworn there were like a couple of songs that Steven Adler got credit for. Huh. I could be wrong. Well, I'll look it up and then put it in the bottom here. The right answer is.
Good idea. I mean,
that.
I could very well be remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure the only one that he played on was Civil War.
Yeah.
I love that song too, but going off of what I would consider to be classic Guns N' Roses, this is the only thing you're going to find off of either of those two albums that meets that style.
That's the thing with that. It got really the attitude wasn't there as much as the Appetite was just all attitude.
Right.
And you had Izzy, writing stuff. Yeah, that was still an influence, but I always say without Steven Adler's caveman playing behind the kit and his swinging groove when he did play, I don't know, it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same. But at the time, everyone went nuts for those albums. Everyone's going crazy. I remember, like you said, the lines get these things. I was in college. Everybody bought these things. Everyone had a copy. You went to any bar and went to the jukebox. Both these albums were there. People were pumping money in to hear these things when they're out. It's everywhere. But you're right. I think it should have been trimmed down to one kick-ass album.
Right, because if you think about it, I mean, name more than 3 memorable songs off the first one. Most people can't do it. I can't do it.
I like the first one more than the second one. That's just me.
The second one, I mean, Civil War, I'm a huge fan of. Yesterday's. Their cover of Knocking on Heaven's Door is really good.
I like their live version when they did it at the Ritz. I thought that was way better.
Knocking on heaven's door.
I
agree.
Prettier. It had, again, the attitude of them being a young, hungry band. The one on that had, the background vocals, and when they played it live, they do a reggae version. And it's just like, all right, you killed it. You just killed it. So I remember when that show aired on MTV, there were local radio stations playing that song from that show on air. Because everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about that. But to me, Use Your Illusion 2 had too much. I don't want to say it was filler because it was stuff that was done already. You had Civil War, which is already previously released. You had You Could Be Mine, which is previously released. You had My World. I don't know what the fuck that was.
That was shit.
Shit. You had another version of Don't Cry for some fucking reason. And it was like, why are you wasting space on who needs that? Nobody needs this. Cut all that out. You had more room to work with to make it one album. But
Right,
November Rain is on Use Your Illusion 1. That was the biggest song off that fucking thing.
What was it? Bad Obsession? Was that on the first one?
That was on 1, yeah.
That was a really good song.
I like that. I like Dead Horse. I think the opening track, Right Next Door to Hell, is still a good one. That kind of had the attitude of what GNR was a few years earlier.
Pretty Tied Up was on the second one.
That's on the second. I like that.
That song was really, another one of Izzy's. I mean, Izzy and Steven made Guns N' Roses Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, when they booted him, it was like, and Izzy said, fuck this, I'm done. I can't do this no more. I already made a shit ton of money, I'm out. All right, my last song closing out my mixtape is from the EP you already mentioned, as Ugly as They Wanna Be by Ugly Kid Joe. It's the closing track. Yeah, it's got a cover thrown in it, but it's Sweetly Funky Fresh Prison. What a goddamn killer song that is. Easily my favorite song by them. I saw them open up for Def Leppard, and I was like, I don't care what they play, but if they play Funky Fresh Prison, I am good for the night. And man, did they kill it. Just the bass work in that is fucking killer. It's such a good tune. I don't think they ever really did anything like that afterwards, but yeah, easily my favorite song off that EP. So goddamn killer. I love the way it goes from Sweet Leaf and it kind of stops. They don't play the whole song, and then it goes dance, and it goes in the Funky Fresh Prison. Good stuff. Such an underrated band too.
oh, absolutely. Um, I don't remember them doing anything else like that. This song, I mean, I love it. To me, it's got like the characteristics of a really good jam band.
Yes, yes.
I
You're
mean,
totally right about that.
you walk into, open mic night at your local rock club, and you've got the old pros in there, and they all get up together, and this is the type of thing you expect to hear.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, give us something in E minor." Okay, start just going with it. Yep. Yeah, I always love that too, and probably my favorite song by them.
Great fucking pick, man. Great pick.
Yeah, I love that one. All right, so that tape over, send it out to you, put Mixtape on the side and magic marker, and give it to your friends and pass it around. All right, what honorables did you have? 'Cause I got a fuckload.
Oh, I had a couple from Danger. I had Monkey Business, Crazy Nights.
Nice.
From Kik Tracee, Don't Need Rules.
Okay.
Girl Money by Kicks. Monkey Business by Skid Row. So both monkey businesses kind of lost out. I mean,
Yeah.
$8 short. Forever Young by Tyketto.
Nice.
Never Say Never and Just Take My Heart by Mr. Big.
Oh, I didn't have Mr. Big.
Never, when I was trimming down, I know I was somewhere around having 12 or 13 songs left, and Never Say Never was still in the running. It was one of the last ones cut.
I was just listening to it in the car today too, because I was thinking I didn't write it down, but I was gonna put in my honorables. Your brother, what the fuck is the lead off track?
Daddy, Brother, Lover,
Little Boy. That's the drill song. That's a great one too.
I also have So Tell Me Why by Poison. I Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
I had Give Me No Lip by Dangerous Toys.
Nice. That's a great song.
Fucking awesome too.
I always like the tune. I once had a dream you couldn't utter repeat, but then you woke me up because you were talking in your sleep. So good.
I also had a cover tune, Hang On to St. Christopher by the Bolt Boys.
Ooh, that is a good cover too.
Fucking
that's an
awesome.
underrated album. A lot of people trash that album because it's not as good as the first.
Right. I mean,
I think it's pretty solid.
I think it's a departure from their first album. And
yeah.
I mean, obviously, at this juncture, I think Mark Torian's a fucking cocksucker. But
so he's trying to say.
Going back to Fan Me from then, yeah, I dug the Bolt Boys, what they were doing. I mean, they had some really cool shit off their first couple albums.
Yeah, I agree.
And I had a couple more Skid Row songs, a couple more Alice Cooper songs, and shit like that. But that's what I had.
Nice. Such a great year. God damn. All right, I already said this. In the Mood by McQueen Street. I'm surprised you didn't have anything from this album, from Brittany Fox's Bite Down Hard. I had Closer to Your Love. What a goddamn killer song.
I actually, must have looked over that. Otherwise, I would have.
There's so many goddamn good albums. It's easy to forget. I wanted to pick something from South Gang's Tainted Angel, their debut. I went with the Russian Roulette. That whole album's really good.
I didn't think that. I thought that came out in '92.
No, that was their follow-up, Group Therapy.
Shit, South Gang would have definitely. If I wouldn't have forgot about that, that would have 100% made my list.
Because I almost had Love Ain't Enough as my ballad, and I was like, yeah, I already got ballads, and I had no room for it. I'm surprised neither of us had this on our mixtape either. I could, from Tesla, I had either Edison's Medicine, or if I was going to go with another ballad, What You Give. Both, such a great album. Another one just killed me not to have anything, Face Down the Gutter by XYZ from their Hungry album. Rocket Pit Bridge by Tough off their debut. All the Time in the World by Junkyard, a great one. This one killed me not to have Somewhere. In Crowd by Enough's Enough off their Strength album. That's a great album.
I forgot about that fucking album too.
I know. There's just so many. It's not like you don't like them. You just lose track. Rockin' Is My Business by the Four Horsemen. And off the EP Smooth and Deadly from Slick Toxic, I went with Riff Raff. But
nice. Now what it was. I toyed with the hair metal part of this just slightly because I wanted to include something off of an album from the band that's on your hat. For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge came out.
I thought about either Pound Cake or Judgment Day.
really thought about putting Pound Cake on it.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song.
Because, oh my God, this is going a few years back. Metal Mike had a show where he had people, he had a bunch of people he was going to call, and he went through like 80, I forgot what the year, 83, 84, all the way up to like 93 or 4 or whatever. And every person had like a, different year. What's your top song of that year? I got 91, and just trying to figure out something. And I eventually went with Pound Cake by Van Halen. I was like, I might as well just pick my favorite band. Fuck it, I'll just go with it. And that album is, I think, their best album with Sammy.
I agree.
Best, yeah. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely their best. I really like 5150, but Judgment Day would have been another great song to have on there too. That's a killer goddamn
Man
song.
on a Mission.
Man on a Mission is great. There's so many good songs. God damn, what a great year. Holy shit. Good God.
A great year with some, the future interference, if you will, that, well, in some people's mind, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, those landmark albums were all released in 91. They just didn't hit.
Yeah. But that's the thing. A lot of those albums, they were released in 91, but didn't become big until like 92.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 10 came out, like August of 91?
Yeah, it wasn't quite the overnight success
that
some people want to paint. You can say that those bands, ended hair metal, and that's to a point.
Yeah,
that's right. But you're not going to kill something that's invincible, and there had already become enough holes in how shit was that it left an opening.
I also feel that, and I've said this before on various shows, where the people that were into hair metal, quote unquote, they kind of aged out of it. They weren't the big demo. For music, especially then, the big demo was teenagers. That if you can get teens on board with your albums, you were golden. And the people that were teenagers when hair metal was big, they were in college, they were moving on, and there was a gap there for something else for teenagers to latch onto. And a 15-year-old's not going to all of a sudden be a fan, most likely a fan of something that's 5-6 years old. No way. That's old.
Right. And let's not take this out of the equation to you. Like, we've touched on it in different videos that we've both been on, where there's lyrics that are cringeworthy.
That's
when
true.
You look back at it. We both love Winger and that debut album, the lyrics to 17 are downright fucking
creepy.
Oh.
I mean, when you're a teenager, you can get it, right? I mean, you can deal with it because you're a kid. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But you're hanging out with your buddies and you're in your early 20s or whatever. She's only 17. Sounds like a goddamn jail sentence.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It doesn't age well.
Unskinny Bop doesn't have the appeal it did a few years early.
Yeah.
So, you hear Them Bones or whatever.
Great tune.
and that just it filled the opening that some of the bands painted themselves out of.
Yeah, and I kind of think that's what, if you're a 14-year-old, you don't want old stuff. You want something you can think is your own, it's yours. And you're right, that grunge came in, and that was the thing that teenagers started latching on to, going, hey, this is our music now. Because you look at that, even a few years later, 4 years later, people weren't into it anymore. That was done even faster than air metal.
Grunge was such a fucking quick
thing.
It came from seemingly out of nowhere, but it was brewing before it hit. But I think, in my opinion, it was already dying in '94.
Yeah.
If you want to get more technical about it, when whatever happened to Kurt Cobain, that killed it.
Yeah, whoever killed him.
Right.
Himself?
It just depends. I mean, there's enough theories as to what happened to him, and somebody's right somewhere. Far be it for us to guess.
Someone knows the truth. You're right. You are right. All right. Why don't you tell the good folks where they can find you at?
Oh, find me on Facebook. Find me on Instagram. Find me on Twitter. And make sure you're liking and subscribing Brian, and you will find me here for several upcoming ideas.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll get to the usual YouTube bullshit in a second. Follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at HB Basement. Always talking music there. Download the Station Head app and check out rare tracks from this genre of music every Friday night at 8:30. And like you said, the same old YouTube usual shit. If you got any other songs that you have on a mixtape, got your own mixtape, maybe you got stuff that we missed that should be on our mixtapes, put it in the comments, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, or go to hell and all that. And until the next time, keep your hair high and your metal horns even higher. Take care.
How was that? Oh.
Brian, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know, really.